Thank you for joining this discussion. Communicating with stakeholders, conveying the goals and structure of the fifth grade lesson on understanding ecosystems. This discussion will outline the key areas of the lessons, ensuring clarity and effectiveness. This discussion will communicate the goals of the lessons, an overview of the lesson's activities, content and assessments, specific resources needed to be used in the lesson, and the best practice for effectively delivering your lessons, including the background knowledge required, challenging concepts, and delivery techniques. Let us look at the goals of the lesson. The primary goal of the lesson is to enable students to identify clarity and the three types of organisms, the ecosystem, producers, consumers, and decomposers. This will advance through a hands-on diagram labeling exercise. By the end of the lesson, students should demonstrate at least 80% accuracy in their clarifications, showcasing their understanding and how these organisms interact within their environment. Overview the lesson's activities, content, and assessment. The lesson will be designed to be a 1 hour. The lesson will be structured as follows. Introduction. We will begin the lessons with a brief overview of the ecosystem, discussing the roles of producers, consumers, and decomposers. While pulling from students' prior knowledge, we will use a multimedia presentation to illustrate key concepts and provide examples. 2. Interactive activities. Students will work in small groups to analyze a diagram of the ecosystem. Each group will identify and classify organisms as producers, consumers, or decomposers. They can research for information. 3. Class discussion. The lesson will facilitate discussion where students share their findings and clarify miscommunications. Students will encourage to explain their reasoning behind their classifications. 4. Assessment. The lesson will end with a diagram labeling exercise which students will individually complete and which will be graded for accuracy. Let's look at the specific resource needed. To effectively deliver this lesson, specific resources and tools will be necessary, like technology. The lesson would incorporate a projector, a screen, smartboard to display the multimedia presentation, which would include images and videos illustrating ecosystem and the roles of the various organisms. Tools and equipment. Some materials that will be needed: printed copies of the ecosystem diagram for each student, colored, coded, labeled, or sticky notes to identify producers, consumers, or decomposers, whiteboards and markers, notepads or journals, or documentation during group discussion. Online resources. Students will need school-provided computers or tablets to access internet websites to provide additional information on ecosystem which can be referred during this lesson. Best practice for effective delivery. To ensure a successful lesson, consider the best practice. Background knowledge. Before the lessons, assess students' prior knowledge of ecosystem. This can be done through a brief survey or pre-assessment to tailor the lesson's content accordingly. Challenging concept. Some students may struggle with classifying organisms. The instructor should be prepared to provide additional examples and explanation, particularly for organisms that may fit multiple categories. Delivery techniques. The instructor will use various teaching methods to accommodate different learning styles, including visual aids, group work, and discussion. To engage students effectively, the instructor will encourage participation by asking open-ended questions and facilitate Peer-to-peer learning. Feedback and reflection. After the lesson, gather feedback from students about their understanding and areas where they found difficulties. This will help refine further lessons and improve teaching strategies. This structured approach clarifies the lesson's purpose and highlights the commitment in providing a comprehensive learning exercise for all students. Thank you.